Hey, hey,
I
hey,
can say it.
hey. Blaine, who are you and what do you do?
Well, you just told everyone my name is Blaine. No, Blaine Liberator, Regional Manager for Dutch Bros Coffee here in Springfield. So it's called the Dutch Creed. It's also known as the Optimist's Creed. That's what you can look it up by. But basically, it's about pouring into others and not so much into yourself. You know, building other people up, criticizing yourself more than you criticize others, not worrying about fear, not worrying about failure, and really just making sure that you are pouring into all the people around you to make them better, which makes you better as a person. And so that's really the basis of what that Dutch Creed or the Optimist's Creed is about. Well, I think you can sum a lot of it up by just stoking people out, you know, and taking that time to get to know people on a genuine level. Like, you have to be genuine with what you're doing. And if you're not like actually like stoked to talk to people, then they see right through it. You can't fake being genuine. And so that's step number one. Two is to just love on them. Like, you got to be what your customer wants you to be. One customer might need you to be energetic. One customer might need you to be compassionate. One customer might need you to be quiet, whatever it is. But you got to be able to be what your customer needs you to be. And that changes on a car by car basis. And then the last is just make sure people smile. I mean, just spread smiles and spread joy and make sure people leave with a smile on their face, because that's a lot of what they come for. It's not necessarily the product. It starts with, like, can this person capture my attention? In a 30-second span, when they're at the window handing us a resume or an application, like, it's not just handing us a resume or application. It's, does this person want to sit here and talk to me? Do I want to sit here and talk to them? Because ultimately, that's what a lot of the relationship that we build with people is based off of, is talk.
Yeah.
And then you figure out as you go along, as you start hiring people, you can figure out who's being genuine with it and who's not. I don't know many companies that don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
To be honest, and we talk about it on a really consistent basis at Dutch Bros about how you represent not just the company but yourself on social media, because it's such a big part of people's lives these days, and it's such an influential part of society. I mean, think about social media and 10 years ago where it was, where you didn't really think about any of that having an effect on not only your employment status but your daily life, and where we've come in 10 years and what we can do with social media and how we can utilize it as a tool for either good or bad is such a massive part of society now. And so when we are looking at that, we're looking at, like, you know, how does this person represent themselves?
Yep.
What kind of stuff do they post about? And that's not always the end all be all, but it can definitely raise some red flags. And so we look at that stuff, and it gives us a great glimpse, a great snapshot into who people are.
Yep. Obviously, it goes without saying the product is amazing. The coffee is delicious.
Yeah.
Might be a loaded question, but what percentage of do you think your success is the actual product versus the experience you provide?
Great question. You know, I mean, it's just my personal opinion. It's
Yeah.
not. It's definitely not. Probably doesn't reflect what the entire company thinks. But I would say that it's probably the product is a third.
Yep.
And so, the best way I can explain that is actually our three core values, which are quality. That's one. And so to me, that's where the drink comes in, right? And then there's speed. Like, are we doing this at an efficient pace that's going to get people in and out in an efficient manner where they don't have to waste, you know, precious moments of their day? And then customer service,
Yep.
which is giant. And I know that that's the one that everyone focuses on with Dutch Bros. But to me, those three core values, they're like a tripod.
Yep.
Right? And so we have this tripod with the three core values being the legs, and we have the business that's sitting up here. And everyone knows if you kick the leg out of a tripod, the dang thing falls over.
Yep.
And so if we're not observing speed, quality, and customer service as equal thirds, in my opinion, then we're failing the business.
Yep.
And ultimately failing the customer.
Yep.
Because they're the ones who it affects the most when we don't reach those three critical core values.
How much weight does it have though when your employees say, "Oh yeah, I see Kristen come through all here all the time"? Like that probably holds some weight because I know Kristen's always delivering cookies and ordering coffee and all of that. So that matters too, to be around, like you said, all year.
And that goes back to the relationship building, the working relationship, which ultimately turns into a personal relationship, between our broistas and the people from your guys' organization that comes through.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Because if we never see anybody and if people don't build that relationship throughout the year, then it's like, okay, well, there they are. I haven't seen you for a year. Here's what you need. Like, glad we could do it for you. But no, it's not like that at all. Like, it's a true personal feeling. And that's not just because Kristen and I have a great working relationship. She's built that relationship with so many of our broistas. Like, they see her online and it's like, there's Kristen from Relay. And so, yeah, like she's known as Kristen from Relay, but isn't that ultimately what you guys want? Is like people are talking about the Relay for Life?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know her? Like an employee that perhaps doesn't know her yet is going to get introduced to her as, this is Kristen from the Relay for Life. Well, they're going to ask, what's the Relay for Life?
Yeah.
And now that employee, that broista that knows her is going to explain what the Relay for Life is and what our relationship is with you guys. And now that person's educated about it. I think being pushy is one. Just completely hounding and saying, you know what, you guys didn't answer us in 5 days. What's your answer? You guys, we wanted an answer 2 weeks ago and you haven't came back to us. So we need an answer. Threatening is another one. Like, well, if you guys don't help us, then this person will. That to me is a big turnoff. It's just like, okay, well, have them help you then, because they're willing, they're there right now. Like, we appreciate it, but no thank you. One is just having passion about your cause.
Yep.
It's one thing to go up and be like, hey, I'm from such and such, and this is what we're doing, and I was wondering if you want to be a part of it. But if you come up and like you have an energy about you, and you're educated on what you're doing, and you're passionate about what you're doing, and you can convey that to people through your energy that you're giving off to them, then you're going to grab their attention. And when you grab their attention, now they're going to be more inclined to be like, you know what, I want to know more about this, instead of just shunning you away. So be passionate about what you're doing, but then also like be involved, but don't be pushy, if you know what I mean. The one thing I love about the relationships that I have with the people from American Cancer Society here in Eugene, Springfield that deal with us is that you guys are around, but you're around all the time. We've built like this great working relationship with you guys. That's not just, hey, are you guys gonna be at our event? How much did you raise? Thanks for what you do. It's, hey, like, how are you guys? How's business? Can we meet a couple times a year? Can we go talk? Can we have a phone conversation? Whatever it is. It's an ongoing relationship, not just when you guys need something, but throughout the entire year. And that's so great that we have that relationship, that you guys can call us or we can call you at any time to say, hey, here are my thoughts. Hey, have you thought about this? Have you tried this? What about this? Having that year-long working relationship that's constantly engaged with constant involvement makes it feel like we're not around just when you guys need something, and vice versa. And I think that's huge. The last thing, and that I really love about what we've done with you guys, and specifically what you guys have done for us, is the thank you. Like, it's not just, oh, sweet, thanks for the check, see you next year. Like, there's follow-up. And it's like, hey, you guys killed it. Here's a plaque, here's balloons, here's this, here's that. And it's not what you give us, it's the fact that you're saying thank you. And it's heartfelt, and it's thought out, and it's genuine, right? That means so much not just to us, but to any other business, that you guys take the time to personalize thank yous. And I think that's probably the best way to say it, is to just personalize a thank you. Even if it's just going to their office to say, hey, can I have 5 minutes with your staff? To say, you know what, we so much appreciate what you guys do for us. That personal touch on that thank you is just, it makes everything feel warranted. And it makes everything feel like, gosh, I want to do that again next year for these guys, because it really means a lot to them. And so I would say that those are the things that make it the most worthwhile working with you guys, and that if you can do those things, it's going to mean a lot to other places as well.